Hello everybody. So today I have the luxury of making a video. So I'm going to talk about the time that I had a UFO encounter. Well, actually, to be frankly honest with you, I really don't know what the hell it was I saw. All I know is that this happened for a fact, and this is a story I haven't told anybody because still to this day it kind of just makes me think what was it that I saw? And it wasn't anything big where it's like, oh, this, huge flying saucer came and just opened up and abduct. No, it was something that happened fairly quick, but it's still like I don't know what it was. I could have been a spirits hologram UFO. I don't know. All I know is that this happened, and this is something I haven't told anybody really, other than bits and pieces to friends, but never like this, never the whole package. So basically, um, before I lived in this apartment, me and my family, we would always be place to place. We would be renting one house, go to another, maybe next year go to another one, maybe after like less than a year or maybe even 2 years, probably the longest, we would go to another place depending on the situation. Maybe like if the rent was cheaper, the area was nicer, whatever, right? This is actually the longest place we've stayed in, so you know um, but we were moving, and the house I'm talking about is the house I used to live in before this apartment. So we were moving into this house, and right off the bat, I want to say this house was a very eerie house. Even though nothing crazy happened, to me, it was just always eerie. Once I stepped foot in that house, it was just super weird because, like, me and my brother, we would share a room, and it had a nice backyard. But the backyard, there's like this big old tree, and then it was just like past the backyard, there's this fence, and behind that fence would be this like lot of land. And I remember like a girl and her mom would always ride horses back there, and it was nice. But once it hit nighttime, that place was pitch black, and it was fucking kind of spooky. It was just weird to look at and have like behind my window. It was just weird. I also saw some other weird things back there. So, anyways, like the bathroom, it was like once you walk in, you turn on the light and it makes like this weird noise going on, like obviously from like the light fixture or something, and like the walls were green, and so the light fixture or whatever was like kind of always flickering because it was messed up. So hopefully you get the picture in your head of how it was like using the bathroom in the middle of the night. It was just like very dim and looked like a horror movie. And then this big old window, like, or mirror, sorry, this big old mirror in the bathroom. That shit didn't help at all. It was not fun. Anyways, so another thing is, in my closet there was this square that up on the ceiling, you could push it up, and I feel like there was an attic up there. Obviously, I never went up there and tried to find out. I didn't try to play Scooby-Doo and go up there and fucking find out what was hiding up there. I just left that untouched. I didn't want to mess around with that just in case. But that place was always filled up with like clothes and whatever else we stored in that closet, and it was just like just hole in the closet you could push up. Because I one time I just messed around, I pushed it up, and it actually went up, and I was like, okay, I'm not touching that again. So, anyways, yeah, it was just a weird house, and it was just always giving me creepy vibes. Turns out that we actually lived near a cemetery, not even like a 2-minute walk away. So I found that out a couple years ago when I realized that, and I put the puzzle pieces together, and I was like, oh, okay, now it makes sense, right? So, there was that. Anyways, story goes, we were moving things from the old house to this new house, and we were going back and forth with boxes and our stuff and putting it in the new house, going back to the old house. So one night, it was probably pretty late, it was like 10, 11 o'clock. It was just me and my mom, and we were getting things from the old house and putting it in the new house. And we went to the new house, and we put some things in there, and everything seemed normal, normal as usual. And we were leaving, and to get to the main entrance, like the porch area, there's a metal gate. Sometimes that metal gate was like a pain in the ass to like lock and unlock and all that. So we were leaving, and I was outside by myself, and I look up in the sky, and I noticed there was like three triangles, right? Three triangles of light. And in the middle of those triangles, each of those triangles, there was like, how do I put it? Like a weird shade and another like kind of picture type portrait inside those triangles. So it was kind of like shaded black. So there was three triangles, and each of those triangles was like another image within those triangles, and the light was like a kind of misty color. It was kind of a mystic color. So each of these triangles were white, and these three triangles were also in a triangle formation. So there's like one right here, one right here, one right here, and they started going into like a certain pattern. So they would go boop, 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 and then once they did that, they would go fucking like spin around, not spin around, but just like doop, 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 and then just all like do this, and then they'd be back and doop, 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 and do it again. And it would just do that. Now, I didn't think much about it. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, what is it? UFO? No, because I was just like staring at this thing. I was like, I thought like it could have been like those movie theater lights, like the bat signal light, right? That was my first thought, because we live by factories, and so these lights are right there, and I noticed something very quickly. This all happened fast. I was like, wait a minute. This shit is like directly right above us. It's not near anybody else's house. It's like right above, like where we are. Now I don't know how far away from the ground it was, but it wasn't too far. It was pretty pretty close. So these things are doing that, and my mom finally comes out. She locks the gate. Obviously, I'm trying to tell her like, do you see that? Like, Mom, do you see that? Like, what is that? And she's locking the gate, right? And this all happened in like 1 minute, right? She's locking the gate, and she's having, out of all the moments, she's having trouble locking this gate. Just at this moment, it had to be this moment, and I'm not sure if it's because of what was happening. Because here's the weird thing, because I was telling my mom, I was like, Mom, do you see that? Do you see those lights up there? What they're doing? And she's like, yeah, I know. I just see it. I see it. And I'm like, kind of pushing her and bugging her about it, because I'm a kid. And I'm just trying to get her to, look. And she's not looking. And I'm telling her, Mom, do you see that? Like, do you see those lights up there? Like, do you know what? She's like, yes, I know. I know they're just, movie theater lights or work lights or whatever, right? I'm like, no, they're not. Like, do you see that? Take another. And she's not looking, and she's having trouble with the locking the gate. Out of every fucking moment throughout the day, it had to be this moment. She's having trouble locking this gate, and she's just like, I hear her like pushing the gate, like kind of like rushing it, like forcing it, and so like I know like we're kind of like at this point I'm like a little bit anxious, like, because I think to myself, I feel like she knows what's happening, or what's up in the sky, and she kind of just wants to get the fuck out of there. And I'm starting to feel that too, but I feel like she's, in order to like keep me composed, she's like, I guess, not trying to stare at it with me and just be like, whoa, we gotta get out. No, I feel like she's keeping her composure. Now that I think about it, when I thought about it, this incident, I wouldn't say incident, but this, whatever the fuck this was, when I thought about this a couple years ago. Anyways, so she's having trouble locking the gate, and at this point I'm just like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here, right? So I'm waiting for her to lock the gate, but at the same time I'm bugging her and just, she's like, yes, I know, I see it, like, I know what you're talking about, they're just moving lights, like, whatever, right? And finally, after like, fucking having trouble locking the gate, she locks it, we get in the car, and she's, throughout this whole moment, she doesn't fucking look at what's going on up in the sky. And we get in the car, and we go back to our old house. Now, obviously, in the car, you can't look up and see what's going on. So at this point, I'm like, okay, they're probably just like whatever, like some other type of lights, helicopter lights. Who knows? They're probably gonna be gone, whatever. So we get to the old house. I get out the car and it's fucking right there, up in the sky, again doing the same formation. And at this point, I'm just like, what the fuck am I looking at, right? And we just go inside the house, and we stay inside the house for a little bit, and that was pretty much it. My dad and my siblings were at his work, and so we were gonna go meet up with them. So once we stay in the house for a little bit, once we stepped back out to go meet up with my dad, those things were gone. But this all happened like fairly quickly. Still to this day, I don't know what the fuck it was I saw. The thing that gets me about it was the way my mom reacted to it. And a couple years ago, I asked her, very detailed too. I said, "Hey, do you remember when we were moving into this house, yada yada yada, and you were having trouble locking the gate? And I was telling you look up in the sky, and you weren't looking up in the sky, and then yada yada." And she says, "No, I don't remember that. I don't know what you're talking about." I'm just like, how do you not remember that? It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, what? It's super weird because it's like, this was very clear. This was a clear memory. It's not like a crazy foggy memory. No, this was fucking like, I still remember the formation it was doing. It was just a very like weird calculated formation, just do 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 do, and then it would just like do some weird kind of geometry type stuff, and then it would just go back to the same spot. A couple seconds to do it again. I don't know. Maybe I saw some fucking construction factory lights or some stupid shit, or this helicopter. I'm not sure, but guaranteed this fucking happened. Still to this day, it's a weird thing for me to think about because just the whole environment and setting, like my mom just rushing. I still don't know what the hell was going on through her mind. I still don't know if she was maybe lying to me and saying probably does remember or probably doesn't remember. I'm not sure, but the whole aspect seems weird to me. But I know I saw 3 triangles in the sky, light formation, lights, and just they weren't lights. It was just like bright, like just white, and just like, but it was like foggy, misty kind of almost. And it was just, on the inside was just like kind of like, black, misty kind of black also. And it was just like in a weird formation. The whole formation. It was just a very weird moment for me. It's super weird to me. But, like I said, who knows? Maybe I just saw like something stupid. But hey, at least I get some clarification if I did. If I ever find out what the hell that was. Because it was just, a weird moment for me, and that whole house too, fucking weird ass house. I stayed there. I lived there for like, what, 2 years, 3 years, 3 years. I think it might have been 2 years. That doesn't fucking matter. It's a very very strange experience for me. I also have another little story where I woke up in the middle of the night. And over there in the field lot, whatever, that I explained in the beginning, it must have been like 1 a.m. or something. I opened my window, and, well, I don't open it, but I peek through my window, and I see like this like red, blue, and green color lights in the field. I didn't have my glasses on. I just remember that's all I seen. I think it might have been a cop car. I think it might have been something else. Who knows, but I didn't get any. I just remember staring at these lights and then just closing the blinds and going back to sleep because I was like, you know what, I don't got time for that shit. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have. That's the story for today. I gotta go do some things. I'm out. See you later. Peace out.